Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today, and I'm so honored and privileged to be going live today because I have something really important and really powerful to share. Did you know that right now, as you're watching this, your body is literally humming with energy? Every cell, every thought, every emotion is vibrating at specific frequencies. And these vibrations hold the key to your body's natural healing power. And I want to clarify right off the bat that all healing power comes from God. He is the source. So everything that I'm going to share today is Christ centered because it's about restoring God's design for your body, soul, and spirit. And because God is the source of all healing power, we are designed to be receivers, conductors, and transmitters of this healing power. It's how we are made. We have pathways in our body to conduct the flow of health, this health flow, and the power to restore health. That's what healing is. Healing means to restore to health. We are designed to be healthy. Now, before we go any further, I want to clear about this healing power because God is the source, the original frequency, the ultimate intelligence behind all creation. Isn't that beautiful? And here's the powerful part is that we're like vessels that he flows through. Because since we're designed to receive, conduct, and transmit his healing power and his health flow of health, we're like the vessels that he flows through, and we're meant to carry and share that restoration that comes from him alone. So when I talk about healing power, I'm not talking about some random woo-woo energy. I'm talking about this eternal principle that there is a flow of power that's meant to maintain our health and restore to health anything that breaks down or malfunctions, which that's what healing is. But here's where most people don't realize is that stress, negative emotions, and limiting beliefs create interference patterns that block this natural healing energy. It's like trying to listen to your favorite song through static. The music is there, but you can't hear it clearly. But what if you could learn to clear the static? What if you could consciously work with your body's energy to activate deep healing and transformation? That's exactly what we're covering today. And it turns out that it's not automatic, even though we have this flow of healing power available to us all the time, and we're made to receive it and conduct its flow. It's not automatic because the internal conditions of our mind, our emotions, and our body actually affect how this healing power flows. It affects the strength of it, the quality of it, and it affects where it flows and if it gets blocked, and it really affects the whole thing. So we have a part to play. That's why it's important to take responsibility for our internal atmosphere, because as we take responsibility and care for and steward our thoughts, our emotions, and our beliefs, then that healing power flows freely without any restrictions. So in this video today, you'll discover the science behind vibration and energy, how your body operates as an electromagnetic system, and what that means for your health, what strengthens or weakens your energy signal, and the specific factors that either support or block your body's natural healing. Practical techniques to raise your frequency, and these are simple daily practices you can start using immediately to shift your energy. How to recognize and release energetic blockages, understanding where stress and trauma get stored and how to clear them, and the connection between your thoughts, emotions, and physical healing, backed by real scientific research. So let's dive in. Let's talk about something that sounds mystical, but is actually pure science. The fact that everything in the universe, including you, is vibrating energy. Everything in the universe vibrates. This is scientific. This is not some weird woo-woo, mystical, spiritual philosophy. This is backed by science. Your body, your thoughts, even your emotions, they all carry specific frequencies. Today, we're going to explore how understanding vibration and energy flow can transform your healing journey. Now, you might be thinking, what do you mean everything vibrates? Here's the fascinating part. At the quantum level, nothing is truly solid. Think about it like this. If you could zoom in far enough on your hand, all the way down to the smallest particles, you discover that your hand is not a solid object at all. It's a different paradigm, a different way of looking at yourself. But at the smallest fundamental particles of who you are not a solid substance. You are not solid matter. But rather, your hand, your body, is composed of atoms and subatomic particles in constant motion, with vast amount of empty space between them. So we're actually more empty space down at the fundamental core. We're actually more empty space than we are solid matter, which is so phenomenal on so many levels. But today we're talking about what that means for healing. These particles, these subatomic particles, are continuously moving, spinning, and vibrating. This perpetual motion creates waves of energy that ripple through everything. Your organs, your glands, the systems in your body, your cells, your circuits, pathways, meridians, all your energy centers. And your body is essentially a highly organized system of vibrating energy and information. Because all of that energy, all of those frequencies that are circulating through you, they carry information to all the various parts of your body. And understanding this opens up remarkable possibilities for healing. This isn't just poetic language. It's not some, like I said, woo-woo philosophy. This is physics. This is physics in your body. Your body is made of vibrating energy fields. Ancient traditions knew this thousands of years ago, but this knowledge has been lost. But really, it's only been lost in the last 150 to 200 years. So it hasn't been that long. But for whatever reason, whether it was hidden from us, whether it was lost and forgotten, whether it was kept aside to be rediscovered at a particular time that God designated, which was what I believe, kind of all of those, but this is what the main issue is. We don't know. But now there is so much wisdom and technology and understanding coming out around all of this that this is going to be the future. It's going to be the future. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not giving medical advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but this is going to be the future of health and wellness and well-being, is understanding and using the principles of energy and vibration to restore our bodies to health and even to create longevity. So here's the fascinating historical note. The use of vibration for healing isn't a new concept at all. Like I said, it was lost in the last 150 to 200 years ago. But in fact, one of the earliest documented cases of vibrational healing dates back to ancient Greece, about 500 BC, where Pythagoras, yes, the mathematician, used sound vibration therapeutically for health and healing. And then in medieval Europe, church bells were used for their healing properties. And there are records from the 13th and 14th centuries of people sitting or lying beneath large bells during their ringing. And they understood that the vibrations could shake out sickness and disease and restore balance back to the body. So they knew something. They didn't have the scientific terms or the medical terms. They didn't have the instruments to measure frequencies like they do now and observe energy fields in the body, but they knew something. They had an understanding. And let's break this down because I want to help you understand frequency in your body. And I've been studying this. I've been studying this for 10 years, and it's taken me 10 years of focusing on this to understand it, because it's a completely different paradigm in how we understand ourselves, how we understand our divine design, and how we understand our bodies, and how health and wellness and well-being was really intended to work. So let's break down what frequency actually means and how it relates to your body. Frequency is simply how fast something vibrates, and it's measured in cycles per second, or hertz, just like a sound wave is measured in hertz, Hertz. So since a frequency is just how fast something vibrates, there can be different rates of things vibrating in your body. So different organs, every different organ vibrates at a specific rate particular to that organ. Your cells vibrate at particular rates, and a healthy cell vibrates at a particular rate, and an unhealthy or diseased cell vibrates at a specific rate, which is very interesting. Your emotions, different emotions, they've already mapped out and measured all the common human emotions. Every emotion produces a specific frequency, which means a specific rate of vibration in the body. So very, very fascinating as well as your thoughts do and your beliefs do as well. What you believe creates a specific frequency that starts to circulate through your body. And when we think of beliefs, we don't want to Christianize this, even though I'm a follower of Christ. The Christian culture has over spiritualized this. Your beliefs doesn't mean, do I believe in Jesus or not? I mean, that's the most important, but your beliefs meaning, what do I believe about myself? What do I believe about my value and worth? What do I believe about my capabilities? What are my true capabilities? What is my identity? What do I believe about the world? What do I believe about my place in the world? What do I believe about who God is to me and who he is for me and how he works through me? So those are the beliefs, and all of those beliefs generate different frequencies in the body, especially depending on if they're positive beliefs and they're truth-based. They emit or create a really, really strong frequency and resonance. And if it's a negative belief or it's a false belief, it creates a really low frequency and resonance in the body. So that's where a lot of problems occur. So here's an example. When we talk about your heartbeat, we're describing how your heart cells work together in harmony to create a coordinated pulse. That's what a heartbeat is. This rhythmic pattern generates its own electromagnetic field. And the electromagnetic field generated by the heart is so powerful and strong, this is real, that it radiates several feet beyond your body. That's why if you're around a person that they don't have a good heart, they don't have a pure heart, maybe they're a crook, maybe they're creepy, maybe they're not good, they don't have goodness, they don't have light in their heart, they have darkness, you can feel it. That's why you get a creepy feeling or a bad feeling around certain people, because the electromagnetic field of their heart, yes, part of that may be spiritual discernment, but you're also picking up on the electromagnetic field of their heart is not emitting a good frequency. And sometimes you can feel it and you don't really know what it is. You can't put words to it, but you feel something wrong. You feel something wrong. So Scientists can actually measure the electromagnetic field of the heart. And when you're stressed or anxious, all of us, this field becomes chaotic and weakened. Okay, so think about that. Again, as Christians, a lot of times we over spiritualize this, and I've been there as well. So this is not a judgment. I have been there as well, where we start blaming the difficulties we're having. Oh, I'm getting attacked. I'm in so much warfare. Well, let me tell you this: when the electromagnetic field of the heart becomes weakened and chaotic, you become a target. You become easy prey for those attacks. So a lot of the attacks or the warfare that we describe, we're creating it for ourselves because of the electromagnetic field of the heart, because we're carrying anxiety or some form of stress internally. So we're actually creating the attacks because of that. So your brain waves also operate at different frequencies depending on whether you're alert, relaxed, or sleeping. And when we say your brain operates at different frequencies, we're describing the electrical patterns created by millions of neurons firing together. So let me break this down real quickly. You have beta waves, which are the waves you have when you're thinking, problem solving, or focused on a task. You have alpha waves when you're relaxed but alert, like during prayer, meditation, or daydreaming. Theta waves is during deep meditation, creativity, or light sleep. You know, when you just get in that creative zone and you just lock in, that's a different brainwave. It's a different frequency. If your brain is at a different frequency during those times. Delta waves is during sleep, when your body does its deepest healing. So each state creates different conditions for healing and restoration. And that's why sleep is so crucial, because your brain literally shifts into frequencies that allow deep cellular repair. And here's what matters most for healing. And this is what I want to focus on today, because 99% of people walking around, whether they're in church or just walking around in life, do not have this understanding. They don't know this. But your thoughts, your emotions, and beliefs carry their own frequencies. And your positive emotions like joy, gratitude, and compassion vibrate at higher frequencies, which are going to be good. They're going to be good for your body, health to your body, life-giving to your body. While fear, anger, and stored trauma vibrate at lower, denser frequencies. And so those are going to have a negative effect on your health, on how you feel, on your well-being. And they are going to even have an effect on, I mean, so many things, on your energy level, on your performance, how you perform in life as a parent, as a spouse, as a business person in your career. It's going to affect all of those things, because a negative, this is physics as well, a negative can never produce a positive. And so when we are carrying those low, they call them negative frequencies because they're low frequencies, considered in the low frequency range, they create a negative internal environment. And a negative internal environment is going to produce negative fruit in your life. It's going to produce a negative outcome in your life. So this is really, really helpful to understand. So what does vibration really mean? I've asked this question. I literally Googled, what is a frequency? And what does it mean? What does vibration mean? This was 10 years ago. That's how I started learning. But let's go deeper into what I mean by vibration at different levels of your body. At the atomic level, the atoms that make up your cells are in constant motion. We talked about that. Electrons orbit nuclei, atoms bond and vibrate within the molecules. And this is physical, measurable vibration of matter that scientists can observe. At the quantum level, which is even deeper, at the quantum level, we refer to something even more fundamental. The basic nature of matter as vibrating energy. So that's what we want to, that's the paradigm. That's what we want to wrap our minds around and begin to look at ourselves, our bodies, our health, our well-being, and life through this lens the basic nature of matter as vibrating energy rather than solid substance. Everything is energy. That's what Einstein said. E equals mc squared that we learned about in school. You know what it really means? E means energy, and it means everything is energy. The E is energy. It's like the entire universe is humming with this invisible song, and everything, including you, is part of this divine cosmic orchestra. Your body is literally made of vibrating energy fields, which is so remarkable because when we are operating at the ideal frequency, our bodies are basically in worship to the creator, to the most high God. Our bodies are worshiping God. So are the rocks, so are the trees. That's why Jesus told the people when he entered Jerusalem, if you don't praise me, these rocks are gonna cry out, because they are. They actually are. The stars, rocks, trees, animals, everything in creation is vibrating, and there's this harmony. The vibrations form a harmony, and all creation is in worship to the Most High God, which is so beautiful. But let's talk about how this shows up in your daily life. Your heart creates a measurable electromagnetic field when your emotions are coherent. And so that means they're aligned and harmonious. So your emotions have a huge role. When your emotions are coherent, aligned, that means they are aligned and harmonious. Like when you feel genuine gratitude or love, your heart rhythm becomes smooth and ordered. This coherent signal communicates with your brain and every cell in your body, creating an optimal environment for healing. But when you're stressed, anxious, or experiencing negative emotions, your heart rhythm becomes erratic and chaotic. And this sends stress signals throughout your entire system. And this is weakening your immune function, disrupting hormone balance, and blocking the natural flow of energy through your body. So what weakens or strengthens your energy signal? This is the practical part, understanding what you can do to strengthen your energy and what might be weakening it. So what creates a strong signal and flow is, first of all, coherent emotions like gratitude, compassion, and joy. These emotions synchronize your heart and brain rhythms, creating harmony throughout your entire system. And when you intentionally cultivate these feelings, you're literally tuning your body to its optimal healing frequency. Deep rhythmic breathing. Proper breathing entrains your nervous system into parasympathetic mode, also called healing mode. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you activate your vagus nerve, which signals your body that it's safe to rest, digest, and repair. Positive thoughts and beliefs. Your thoughts literally change the electromagnetic patterns your body generates. Research shows that positive thinking affects everything from immune function to cellular aging. Research also is showing that 75% of human thought is negative. Right now it is. What if we flip the switch? What if 75% of our thoughts were positive? I wonder how our immune function would go. I wonder how our cellular aging would operate. Interesting. These are the kinds of questions I'm constantly asking. It makes you wonder. The other thing that creates strong signal and flow is movement, proper hydration, and nutrition. Physical movement helps energy flow through your fascial system. Water conducts electrical signals in your body. Nutrient-dense food provides the building blocks for optimal cellular vibration. Can't neglect your body. Can't neglect the water. We got to have proper hydration, and we've got to have movement. If we're neglecting the temple that our body is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work in harmony with our creative design. Mindful practices. This is the last one. Meditative or centering prayer and similar practices help you become aware of and consciously direct your body's energy. And this is so interesting because we have the ability to direct our body's energy. And most of us don't know that. I didn't know that. We're subconsciously directing energy all the time. If, for example, if you have a pain in your body and you start to focus on the pain, and then you start thinking, oh, what is that pain? Maybe there's a problem. Maybe I need to go to the doctor. Maybe it's something serious. And then we start imagining all these things that it could be. You're directing energy to that problem, and you're reinforcing the problem. That's how energy works. Wherever you focus the energy, you magnify that thing. So we're subconsciously doing it all the time. So if we can focus our energy in a negative way, we can also focus it in a positive, productive way, which is great news. So what weakens and blocks your energy flow? Chronic stress. This keeps your nervous system in sympathetic activation or fight or flight, creating chaotic, incoherent energy patterns. When you're constantly stressed, your body is always in emergency mode, diverting energy away from healing and repair functions. Unprocessed emotions and trauma. These get stored as dense, low-frequency energy in your tissues. You might notice this as chronic tension in your shoulders, jaw, or other areas, lower back, or sometimes the gut. That physical tension is actually stored emotional energy. And this is the majority of what I do. I'm a holistic practitioner, and I focus on helping people release unprocessed emotions and stored trauma from their nervous system. And when I help them do that and I help them release these things, the body all of a sudden shifts into the parasympathetic or healing mode, and they start to heal. Not only does their physical body improve, but all of the past wounds and adversities and challenges and traumas that they've experienced, they start to heal like this. Snap, 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 because their body is designed, the brain and the mind is designed to heal as well as the body. So what else weakens and blocks the energy flow? Negative thought loops. Repetitive negative thinking creates disruptive patterns that interfere with your body's natural healing frequencies. It's like playing the same discordant note over and over in that cosmic orchestra we talked about. How annoying would that be when you hear an out of tune instrument? My daughter played violin in elementary school, and hearing an out of tune violin over and over and over, it's not pleasant. Think about if that's what your body is hearing, that discordant note over and over and over. No bueno. Also, physical tension, tight muscles, restricted fascia can block the flow of energy through your body's meridian and fascial systems. That's why practices like massage, acupressure, and stretching can have, and just movement in general can have such profound effects. Lastly, poor sleep. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your brain can shift into those crucial, your brain can't shift into those crucial delta wave frequencies needed for deep cellular repair. So here's the key insight. You're not trying to create good vibrations from scratch. You're removing the interference patterns, stress, negative emotions, negative and limiting beliefs that block your body's natural high frequency state. Your body already knows how to heal. It's designed to vibrate at optimal frequencies for health and vitality. And when you clear the static, your body's innate healing intelligence can flow freely. Think of it like clearing a clogged pipe. The water pressure is always there. You just need to remove the blockages so it can flow naturally again. So let's talk about a practical applications, because I have some practical applications you can start doing right now. And we're going to end with this because I don't want to leave you without something you can do right now. So the first one, and these are simple practices you can do anytime, anywhere to raise your vibration, because we all shift all throughout the day back and forth between high strong vibration and low strong vibration, depending on your day. If you get stuck in traffic on a way to an appointment and you get stressed, boom, your frequency, your vibration's going down. But when you know how to get it back up, back to the ideal state, you're going to be fine. You're going to move through, and you face these difficulties and life challenges that we all have, but internally, you know how to steward your internal atmosphere so those things don't affect you long term. So the first thing is called heart-centered breathing. And this is super easy. You place your hand on your heart. There's a whole scientific explanation of why this works. I'm not going to go into it right now. But you're going to breathe slowly and deeply. And as you breathe in, imagine the breath flowing in and filling your heart and expanding it like a balloon with God's love, with life and light. And then as you breathe out, and it goes out through your heart into your entire body. So think of something, and at the same time, think of something you're truly grateful for. And think of God's love filling your heart and expanding it. So we're going to do this, and you can do this for 3 to 5 minutes daily. So this is what I do. I breathe in for 4 seconds. 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and out. Again, as you breathe in, you're imagining your heart expanding and filling with God's love and life and light. Hold it for 4. And then as you breathe out, you breathe it out, all of that love, life, light into your physical body. And you're also thinking of something you're truly grateful for at the same time. This practice shifts your nervous system, your frequency, your vibration instantaneously. The next one is super easy, practicing gratitude. I started doing this about 8 years ago, changed my life. This easy, simple thing changed my life. Every morning, before you get out of bed, before you even put on your feet on the floor, think of 3 specific things that you're thankful for, that you're truly grateful for, and really feel that appreciation in your body, and hold that feeling of how grateful and thankful you are. And say thank you. Give thanks to God. Say thank you, God. And it can be something so small. Thank you that I have a bed to wake up in. And let your body feel how thankful and grateful you are. Another practice is nature connection. Spending time in nature helps reset your frequency. The earth itself has a measurable frequency called the Schumann resonance. This is, again, scientific. And connecting with it, especially putting your bare feet on the soil or sand or ground, and even being around nature helps synchronize your body's rhythms. And then conscious breathing throughout the day. So this is a really great habit, is to set reminders to pause and take 3 deep breaths. This simple act shifts your nervous system and clears energetic static. And then lastly, pay attention to how you feel in your body throughout your day. You can learn to recognize your current frequency. So that's one of the practices. Practice recognizing your current frequency. Low frequency states often feel heavy, contracted, or dull. Just blah. High frequency states feel light, expansive, energized. Your body's always giving you feedback about your energetic state, so you can pay attention and learn to recognize. I've learned to recognize when I dip down into one of those low vibrational states, I can recognize it instantaneously. Now, this isn't about pretending that you don't feel bad. It's not about that, because if you feel bad, you feel sad, you feel down, that's okay. That's being a human being, and you need to honor that experience that you're having and validate it, and feel compassion about it. But you don't want to stay. You don't want to stay in that low, feeling bad vibration all throughout your day. And you want to give yourself a few minutes. I would say 20 minutes, and then shift out of it. And we can always shift out of it no matter what, because you can always find something to be thankful for. And you can always take a deep breath and allow God's love to fill your heart. Even in the worst circumstance, his love is going to fill your heart. And that's enough. That is going to get you through anything that you're facing. So let's bring this all together. I'm going to end with this. Your body wants to heal. It's made to heal. It's created to heal. And God intended for it to heal when he made you and designed you and thought of you before the foundations of the world. At the quantum level, you are vibrating energy organized into the miraculous system you call your body. Truly miraculous. This energy naturally flows in patterns that support health, vitality, and well-being. When stress enters the picture, it weakens the signal strength. Let me say that again. When stress enters the picture, it weakens the signal strength, blocks the energy flow, or creates dissonance that disrupts your body's natural harmony. But here's the empowering truth. You can work with your energy. You can clear the interference. You can raise your frequency. By understanding and working with your energy, you're not just treating symptoms. You're addressing the root cause. You're working at the most fundamental level of your being. Ancient traditions knew this truth thousands of years ago. The Bible, the biblical wisdom that we know, knew this. Modern quantum physics is now confirming what mystics, healers, biblical writers and scholars and rabbis have always understood. Everything is energy, and energy can be directed, shifted, and transformed. Your body carries an intelligence, a blueprint for healing, restoration, and wholeness that was placed within you at creation. Your cells know how to repair. Your immune system knows how to protect. Your nervous system knows how to regulate. This information is always present, always active, always available. But here's what matters. Information needs the right conditions to flow and activate. Just as a seed contains all the information needed to become a tree, it still requires the right environment, soil, water, sunlight, to express that potential. In the same way, the body's healing information needs the right internal environment to fully activate and express itself. So what creates that environment? What allows the information within you to signal healing rather than stress, restoration rather than survival, safety, coherence, presence, rest, and truth. When your nervous system feels safe, it shifts from defense mode to healing mode, allowing restorative processes to activate. When your heart, mind, and emotions align and are in coherence, the signals within your body become clear and organized rather than chaotic. When you bring your conscious awareness to your body with compassion rather than judgment, fear, or panic, you create space for the intelligence within to emerge. When you allow true rest, physically, mentally, emotionally, you give your body permission to shift energy toward repair and regeneration. When you release false beliefs about limitation, brokenness, or hopelessness, you remove interference from the healing signals trying to reach you. You don't need to teach your body how to heal. You don't need to fix yourself. You're not broken. The information is already there. Your role is simply to create the conditions where that God-given intelligence can do what it was designed to do, freely, fully, faithfully. I encourage you to experiment with these practices we've discussed. Notice what resonates with you. Pay attention to how you feel. Trust your body's feedback. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this gives you a new perspective on your healing journey and empowers you to work consciously with your energy. Remember, you're not just a physical body, you're a vibrating field of infinite possibility. Comment healing below to receive a free guided alignment prayer and practice. This alignment prayer that I've created will help create the ideal inner alignment within your spirit. And it will help create the correct position and placement and alignment where your spirit is in the place of dominance as your inner leader, and your body and soul is submitted under your spirit, working together as one unified system. If you found this valuable, please like and subscribe and share, and let me know in the comments what practices you try first. I'd love to hear about your experiences. Until next time, keep raising your frequency and trusting your body's wisdom. You've got this.